participants and Rakesh's and our HODs and all the faculties to this webinar. So it is my privilege to introduce Rakesh S. He is our proud alumni. He is a graduate under VTU and our department under the Saptagiri College of Engineering in 2014. He worked as a electrical design engineer earlier in the Cinder in INGRO, Bangalore from 2014 to 16. And he worked in GE, that is a Quest Global Engineering GE Power as electrical design engineer from 2016 to 18. And again, he worked as a senior electrical engineer in Triveni Turbines under GE Energy Group from April 2018 to August 2018. Later on, after his achievements in a KPSC, that is SSLR 2016, he worked now he is presently working as a land surveyor in the Revenue Department, Government of Karnataka. And he got the rank in SSLR, that is a Survey, Settlement and Land Records Training. He got rank as 425 out of total annuities for this exam. It is out of 2.5 lakhs. And he has achievement in yoga. He has a championship in 2010 state level championship. I welcome Rakesh for this webinar, how to conquer this competitive exam. Thank you. Thank you all. Shweta?
Yes. Thank you, Jhansi ma'am. Now I'd like to request Rakesh sir, Mr. Rakesh, to give a presentation so that it will be very useful to our students.
Rakesh, shall I make you host? You need to share anything PPT?
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, ma'am. Since I was in a busy schedule, I was not able to prepare any PPT kind of thing.
Okay, no.
But, just I can brief, interacting like this itself.
Okay, Rakesh. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Rakesh, ex-student of this college, and currently working as a surveyor in the Revenue Department, Government of Karnataka. I feel happy that you guys have taken your career seriously and attending this session. It's nice to see you all here. All of you are about to start your career, but in different streams. I guess we have from starting from first sem to 8th sem, right, Jhansi ma'am?
No, we're final year students.
Only final year students.
Yeah, final year students.
Okay, because all of you are about to end your B graduation and start your new career. It's always nice to see my college whenever I pass in front of it, because it's not only gave me a degree certificate, but also a reputation in society and responsible and respectable job. I thank my lecturers, faculty members, principal sir, for giving me this opportunity to share my experience with you guys and guide you as much as possible. It's a nostalgic feel. I was a student once, sitting just like you that day, but today I'm leading the session in front of lecturers who helped me to be in this position. I especially thank our former principal and HOD of our EEE department, Dr. K.N. Ravi sir, for guiding us at every stage of our engineering career. He not only guided us to pursue our engineering, but also gave a broad plan to build the career. Even at that age, he was so energetic, enthusiastic, and especially known for his kindness. He was popularly known as Nadadaduva Devaru among us, not only in our college, but also in different colleges for his kind nature. Maybe I am missing him today in this session, I guess. I'm not able to see him. Okay. I am a 2014 passed-out student from electrical department. Like many of you guys, Like many of you guys, even I was not selected in the campus interview. I wanted to search it by myself after my graduation. While searching a job, never ever lose your hope. The world is vast. If you are a talented guy, you will be selected in one or the other company. If you think none can understand your talent, don't worry, because you have a best option called competitive exams nowadays, where only talent and intelligence matters. Just go for it. Don't just... One second. Hello? Okay, just... Okay. Hello, I guess I'm not audible to you guys. One second. In reality, what happens, if you are having knowledge, money will come in search of you. And if you have education, you need to search for it. There is a difference between knowledge and education. I think you are getting what I'm saying. In simple words, you can just explain the difference between education and knowledge in the simple words like education and knowledge are like passport and flight ticket. If you have passport, you will be allowed inside the airport. Only if you have air ticket, you can fly. The education qualification is just a minimum criteria to attend an interview. But the real thing which matters is knowledge, whether it is an interview or any competitive examination. Why I'm stressing on these points is understand the concept, what you study, and do not just mug up the things. For those who are planning for technical jobs in government stream, there is a minimum required percentage of around 60 to 65, 65%. These can vary from one department to another. You will come to know when the exam notification is out by respective departments. If you are not having that percentage of around 60 or 65, don't worry and don't lose hope. If plan A doesn't work, just go for a plan B. There are non-technical jobs as well, which are leading our country today. Starting from SDA, in the sense SDA means a second division assistant, to the most reputed IAS level, all comes under non-technical jobs. Just go for it, which requires only knowledge. Keep your degree as an entry ticket irrespective of your percentage. For everyone, there will be one incident which will change the track of their life. I like to tell you what stroked me towards government job from the high pay private job. After completion of my engineering, I got selected as electrical design engineer in Schneider Energo. I was into power plant designing team, where I was able to utilize all my technical skills. I was in such a team that I was the one who was deciding the ratings of the electrical equipments like bus duct, circuit breakers, power transformer, bus bars, auxiliary transformer, and type of earthing. And when you come for the switchyard, starting from current transformer until the grid connection, we were planning all the equipment, starting from fixing of rating till it is erected and commissioned. The day had come to synchronize our power plant with grid. That was a beautiful project which was designed by my teammate and myself. During the final stage of project, I had been for the site inspection. If the electrical guys are here and mechanical, they can understand this better. During the final stage, what happened when I went for a site inspection, the turbine started its work. The generator also started. After a couple of minutes, even auto synchronizer gave a green signal to synchronize with grid. But we were not allowed to close the circuit breaker because government officer hadn't signed the document yet. Everyone looking at one person to nod his head. After a couple of minutes, he just shook his head and our plant was synchronized with grid. Even after all the designing, procurement, erection and commissioning, you will not be able to start your plant until you get a nod from a government representative. That was a moment which sparked me to become a government officer. Now, I'm proud to see the public who waits for my approval to get their things done. Not because they wait for me, because of the position which has given me the power to help them. My signature will be preserved by them for their entire lifetime. So what are the privileges that you experienced during this journey, in the sense in the government sector? The power and the respect in society, whether he's a great businessman or anyone for that matter, will come to you for your final approval and suggestion. In addition, the respect which you receive from the public will make you stand out from the crowd. And job security, like everyone talks about job security. Is job security so important? Definitely yes. Since you guys are students and haven't seen the unemployment problem yet, and also do not own any commitments, like many don't own the commitment because parents lead their family, you have not come across the importance of job security. After completing your BE, some or the other way, you will get the job in private companies for around 10,000 to 25,000 or salary as a fresher. After getting the job, you will start to earn your own money. That is a crucial time. At that point of time, you will spend it very lavishly and will lead that kind of life for around 1 year until the next appraisal comes. Many of you might be knowing how the company salary scale works. Each company will be having tens of teams, and each team will have a manager. That team manager will be allotted with some funds. By the company, and he need to play within that funds. He is the person who decides your next whole year salary, depending on your skill, how hard you work, how many late nights you studied, how many late nights you spent in the office, and how sincerely you completed your task. Based on this, the employee will get the pay. But the team manager will have the restriction to allot the grades. Say, for example, A, B, C, and D. 20% of the employees within his team will get A grade, and 30% of them will get a B, 30% C, and remaining 20% he is forced to give the D grade. You know what is meant by C or D grade? Those are called as targeted persons. You will be in the first row to be terminated if company or team is running out of projects. If your grade is C or D, none of the other teams in the company will accept you. Finally, you will settle in bench. If you have alternative source of income, like maybe agriculture or some your parents might be working like that, it will not affect you much. But a standalone guy who will have to manage a family will be set at mental pressure. No job, no money. If you don't have money, difficult to lead the life. So job security is much important for everyone. In government job, it is harder to get in, but also it is 10 times difficult to terminate you. Also, I have seen live examples of my ex-colleagues in private company who lost their jobs during first wave of pandemic last year. Only the person who have experienced it can feel the pain. So I'm not just advertising you like you want to get into a government job, but these are the things which you will experience it in the upcoming future. Whether it is a corona pandemic or earthquake, by end of the day or by end of the month, you will receive the salary in government sectors. Definitely, you will receive a salary at the right time in many of the MNCs, but practically speaking, not everyone can land in MNC in a single shot. Once you get selected to any of the government departments, you will be trained by the government and deputed in different places throughout the state or country based on the exams you clear. You can get the things done throughout the state very easily. Your friends will be in the different districts and your network will be so strong that one phone call can get your things done. You can also enjoy all kind of privileges provided by the government like government vehicles, separate cabin, assistants, driver, and also holidays. You may try with the question whether I should opt for a private job first and then the government, or should I wait for the government job until I am into it? Not everyone who study can clear government exams in their first attempt. You need lot and lots of dedication, hard work, family support, and steady state of mindset. Based on my experience, I will tell you how I felt and what I did. If you go to private job, you will be having an added advantage like you can spend your own money for books, coaching if opted for, and practical experience to face the situations, technical knowledge, interacting with higher authorities, and also the confidence level. You can improve these things. What happens if I don't go to private company? Government jobs are usually notified once in a year. If we come across any kind of pandemic situations like we are facing now, exams will be postponed indefinitely. You believe it or not, from past 2 years, many of the exams are set on hold. At this time, if you are having a private job, you can earn and also learn, which will reduce your mental pressure of not having job and also precious time to build your career. It's always your decision to choose what suits you the best. Another best thing for the students who are completing their graduation can study right from here for next 1 or 2 years, so that you will be in the same state of mind as that of student and crack it. For others, it is always best to start studying today than tomorrow. In my case, I cleared the exam without quitting my job. I have changed 3 different companies and I was able to manage both job as well as my studies. It's left to you how you manage your time. Okay. So, what do you think whether the coaching is required or not? So, this is like major question. It is always better to have a guide before starting something new. But it is not a final option to attend coaching institutions. Our country has become digitally stronger. You will find many tutors in the OTT platform, basically like YouTube, which you can get it for free of cost. Subscribe to those channels and start it. Guide is required to inform you what not to study rather than what to study. In this field, you cannot restrict to the syllabi like your schooling. The very important thing which every aspirant should know is what not to study rather than what to study. It completely depends on the exam which you are appearing for. You should have a clear idea of the syllabus and pattern of the exam you are appearing. Many people believe that if we prepare for UPSC, we can clear state exams, IBPS, railway, and other exams. That's a myth. Because the syllabus of UPSC is completely different when compared with IBPS. And if you are preparing for IBPS, you cannot clear UPSC, nor railway, nor any state-held jobs. Please keep this in your mind. So, how will you study? Passion, planning, and dedication is a major thing which is required. First, decide which suits you best, whether it is a state or a central job. Because both has its own pros and cons. There are a list of examinations under state government and central. Each pattern and syllabus varies accordingly. For central, you have UPSC, IBPS, railways, SSC, Indian Navy, Army, Air Force, Indian Postal, and various examination authorities for technical jobs. All exam patterns are different. Understand and remember the syllabus first, because the pattern of the exams differ from one to other. Work on previous question papers, but keep in mind it should not be older than 5 years. Decode their pattern. For Karnataka state, we have KPSC, KEA, KSP, and SSLR, KPTCL, and other examination authorities. Decide on which exam you would like to clear and dedicate your time for that. There is no shortcut for success. Only practice, practice, and practice can land you on fertile land. Whatever you study without practicing will go in vain. Your studies should not depend on what others study. You know your strength and weaknesses. Work more on your weaknesses than your strength. I will list out the subjects which are in common for almost all non-technical exams. Because when it comes for the technical exams, like whatever the syllabus which you are studying in your curriculum, the same thing you can continue. But in the non-technical exams, we need to study the other subjects like history, Indian geography, world geography, Indian constitution, physics, chemistry, biology, environmental science, Indian economy, general aptitude, general awareness, current affairs, etc. Even in technical exams nowadays, we have 25% of the questions which are reserved for these GK. If the exam is set for 100 marks, 25% of the marks, in the sense 25 marks will be kept aside, reserved for this GK subject. So whether you are planning for technical or non-technical, better you should have a firm grip on these things. Since we all are from science background, we have a firm hold on science and aptitude concepts, right? However, concentrate more on English language and history, constitution, economics, geography, and the basics of computers and current affairs. Dedication of at least 3 to 4 hours a day is necessary. Each day you have to learn 10 new concepts and revise whatever studied previously. Whatever you studied yesterday, you have to revise it today, and whatever and keep a timetable for 1 week. And whatever the things which you studied for the whole week, you need to sit on one particular day and revise everything. Only revision can get you success. Develop the habit of reading newspaper, because reading newspaper every day will help you to solve 60 to 70% of the questions in the competitive exams. You can refer the Hindu newspaper for national news, and for state news you can refer Prajavani. There are also few websites which gives information about current affairs, including other subjects such as GK Today, Jagran Josh, where you can also solve MCQs. Visit these websites regularly so that you can keep yourself updated. That is GK Today and Jagran Josh. Studying magazines like Pratyogita Darpan will also lead a major impact on your studies. For aspirants willing to clear Karnataka state government jobs, I recommend Spardha Vijeta and Spardha Spurti magazines. I will list few books which you can refer for. You can just make a note of them so that these books may help you for your reference. The books are NCERT textbooks from class 5 to 12. You can purchase it from the online like Amazon or Flipkart. Purchase it for yourself from class 5 to 12, Science and Social Studies. Then you can refer National Movements written by Bipin Chandra for history. And Tata McGraw-Hill has published 2 parts for general studies, part 1 and part 2. Try to purchase both the books because I think that's the best book which you can get. Then for MCQs, you can refer 14,000 MCQs published by Arihant publication. Then for Indian Constitution, that is for Indian polity, you can refer M. Lakshmikant. And for Indian economy, you can refer Dutt and Sundaram or Ramesh Singh book for Indian economy. And for general knowledge, definitely Lucent, you can purchase it. If you ask me, can I clear the exam if I study these books? My answer is no. But you can understand the questions that appears in exams. Based on that, you can answer the questions using elimination technique. Since I am familiar with Karnataka state government jobs, I would like to give you information about a few technical jobs that I am familiar with in Karnataka state. Few posts under electrical board like BESCOM, HESCOM, MESCOM, KPTCL, and KPCL. The posts are like Assistant Executive Engineer, AE, and for these two posts, the electrical engineers can apply for it, and junior engineer, and for a junior assistant, senior assistant. For these kind of jobs, diploma candidates also can apply. And in civil sector, we have wide variety of options like BWSSB, State Highway Department, and ADLR in Survey Settlement and Land Records, Town Planning, and Minor Irrigation Department, Public Work Department, that is PWD, and so on. For mechanical engineering students, they can opt for RTO inspectors. There are also non-technical jobs available in our Karnataka state. They are like First Division Assistant, Second Division Assistant, and a Panchayat Development Officer, that is PDO, then Revenue Inspector, Sub-Registrar, Police Sub-Inspector, Police Constable, Secretary, Women and Child Welfare Department, Forest Department, Commercial Tax Officer, Fire Station Officers, etc. There are n number of jobs even in government sector. Should you try only for degree-based jobs or 12th standard also? Please understand, like the unemployment situation which we are facing in India now is in such a way that even for the jobs which needs 10th standard qualifications are being applied by MTech, MSc, BCom graduates as well, even for 10th standard qualification. So nevertheless, you can give a try for 12th based jobs as well. Don't just stick on to degree based jobs or technical jobs. Never give up your dreams for small settlements until your age relaxation is over. Because if you are trying for this one, the age relaxation for general merit is 32 years. For OBC candidates, that is other backward classes candidates, it is 35 years. And for scheduled peoples, that is SC and STs, they have an age relaxation up to 38 years. So until you attain this age, you can give a try. Okay. So I guess I have come to the end of the topic at last. The basic question is whether social media is essential or not. Definitely, social media is necessary. There's a lot of channels in Telegram and also groups in WhatsApp and pages in Instagram and Facebook where you can get n number of study materials. Also updates on exam notifications, MCQs and notes. So you can just go through them, but never divert yourself. Okay. Finally, your aim should be to create your own identity in the society rather than being recognized by your parents' identity. Work on it and never lose your hope. I wish all the very best to all the aspirants who are heading towards creating a bright future. Thank you.
Yes, Rakesh. Rakesh?
Yes, ma'am.
You can continue or ಇನ್ನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು.
Okay. Yes, my dear students, now if you have any doubts regarding the question regarding the competitive exams or any other exams, you can ask or put it in the chat box. You can unmute yourself and you can put it in the chat box. Yes?
Can I ask?
Yes, Dashrath. Sure.
Hello, sir. My name is Dashrath. I have a small question actually.
Yeah.
Once you get into a government job, they say you do the same thing for 30 years. It's not challenging. Is that true?
No, that's not true. Because each and every day where you come across the people, you daily come across with different kind of people with different mentality. Whatever the job which you do is like it depends on the job which you choose. If you go for the IBPS, if you select and if you become a clerk in the bank, he will do the same kind of job until his retirement comes. But that's not true in this state government. Okay, but whatever you choose, it depends on what you this thing. Because if you go for a railway job, it is a routine job, and the clerk job is a routine job. And even in state government, the FDA and SDA, these two will have a routine job. Other than these two, I guess the other departments are not like that.
Yes, thanks.
Others, if you have any questions, please you can ask. Or you can post it in the chat box. No questions?
Any queries, students? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Rakesh, for the wonderful talk.
Excuse
It was really a very
Yes,
motivating talk.
1 minute. Manasa is talking.
Yes,
Yes,
Manasa.
Manasa.
Sir, can you share about your interview experience, sir? How was it?
See, like basically, there are few jobs which where interview is not there. Like interview, like because many of the posts are eliminated with the interview because there was a scam in that one. So for my job, I didn't attend any kind of interview for this government job. Because previously, like if any of them are trying for the police sub inspector, now it is now there is no interview for that PSI exam also, and even for what in revenue department also there is no interview. Only the interview is for Tahsildar and above, for Group A and B gazetted officers.
Any other questions?
Yes, any more questions, students?
Yes, free feel to ask the questions regarding the competitive exams or any other exams you are going to write the exams. Or if you have any doubts how to prepare or any other materials you require from Rakesh, yes, definitely he'll going to help you. Please, if you have any questions or queries, please raise the questions. Shweta ma'am, continue.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rakesh. It was a very interactive session, actually. A very important session, which was much more needed at this time, especially. Right talk at the right time. So there was the few points which was raised, actually a self-confidence, and it is a better planning, which is very much important for a student to conquer any of the exams. Thank you so much for that. Now I request any students to give the feedback on the present talk. Any students?
Yes, ma'am.
Can anyone? Yes, Swati?
Yes, ma'am.
Anu?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Anu?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Turn and
Yes.
all. Thank you for this webinar. I found this webinar of 1 hour is a way much easier to understand, and it was a great session for us. Thank you for bringing this great innovative knowledge to us in a very easily and understandable manner. Thank you all.
Thank you, Anu. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experience and knowledge. It was very useful for us, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.